Welcome back mga kaibigan to the Green Premier League 2014 Summer Season. Laban naman ngayon sa pagitan ng team AHQ Fighters versus team of Saigon Jokers. So kanina nakita natin laban between team IPT versus team of Bangkok Titans. So ngayon, let's proceed na sa ating picking phase between team AHQ Fighters versus team of Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, so on the blue side, of course, we have the AHQ Fighters, and on the red side, we have the the Saigon Jokers, that is. And right now, we are going through the pick and ban. Bans are done already. AHQ Fighter have banned out Nidalee, Kale, and Kassadin, while SAJ decided to ban out Brom, Twisted Fate, and Yasu.
Wow, these three bans mga kaibigan for team of AHQ Fighters, they banned out three AP mid carries that can surely dominate the team fight dito with Nick's Water. We all know how Nick's Water with his playstyle, alam natin kung gaano siya talaga kagaling dumiskarte sa kanya mid lane dito, yung kanyang pagiging aggressive in the early part of the game. So far ngayon, looking at the bans of team Saigon Jokers, they banned out Brom, Twisted Fate, and Yasuo. And most probably, since available na si Brom ngayon sa ating GPL, talagang nababan na siya, at naban din siya kanina between IPT and Bangkok Titans. But since they banned out Brom, most likely isang tanky champion in the bottom lane dito, being a support role, ay na-shutdown na kagad. Looking at the picks of Team HQ Fighters, they have Lee Sin, Jax, and Thresh dito. For the first three picks of Team HQ Fighters, for Team of Saigon Jokers, they have Gragas and Pantheon. This is going to be very effective for their team. They have the nice crowd control coming from Pantheon. Yung kanyang damage output, AoE damage dito will give his Grand Skyfall. We have Gragas here using yung kanyang explosive cast to surely dominate the team fight here in the later part of the game. They have Nami as well to back it up. And kung sino man magiging AD carry nila, we'll see ano gagawin ni Saigon Jokers dito. Yes, they have Jinx for the AD carry.
Yes, alright, so like you said, Jinx was the last pickup coming from HQ Fighter. HQ Fighter will pick up their last two bans. They're now hovering over Virus. We haven't seen Virus in a while. I don't think they'll pick that up. Looks like the Twitch is now their next option. This would be a most likely combination, as we've seen Twitch being used multiple times with Thresh. Of course, Lucian is also a high priority pick right now for most of the team, so it will probably be between Twitch and Lucian for their AD carry. LeBlanc, again, we saw LeBlanc do pretty well in the last game. I would be surprised if they decide to pick it up. High mobility and burst damage, of course. As you can see, RD still trolling us with those picks here, and I really think most likely will be a Lucian based on what he's showing us so far.
Lantern and Albis, they are from the main team of Team HQ dito, so they both know how usually the player of Team Saigon Jokers will do their job here against Team HQ Fighters. But so far they have the jungle dito, and they have Mr. Albis for the mid lane. So kung sino man ang magiging champion ng dalawang team na ito, ng dalawang member na ito of Team HQ Fighters, like I'm pretty sure that meron silang konting idea kung ano yung magiging playstyle dito in terms in a competitive scene of the GPL. Looking at the lineup of Team Saigon Jokers, pinag-iisipan pa nila kung sino yung last pick nila. Yes, they locked in a Ziggs for the AP mid carry of Team Saigon Jokers, and Nick's Water will use Ziggs this time. And I think medyo mahihirapan ang team ng Bangkok Titans dito to IHQ Fighters to shut him down, kasi we all know how Nick's Water play the mid lane, the mid role dito. Usually give in a poke damage and then disengage. Sobrang play safe niya dito eh. Siya yung isang player na kilala ko na napagsasabay niya yung pagiging play safe at yung pagiging aggressive niya in the laning phase.
Alright, so the game will start in a few minutes here. Of course, we have that minor delay as the game progresses. Looking at the lineup, of course, I can tell definitely SAJ thought about this very well. Yes. They already had it planned well ahead of time. Of course, they have the Nami probably to be the initiator with her tidal wave, allowing SAJ safety and Nick's Water to land their ultimates onto their targets they want to hit. By the way, SAJ Uzi is not the same Uzi that's very popular in the LNL.
Japanese, Chinese
team. Yes,
Japanese.
This is actually another player named Uzi as well from their region, of course, who will be joining them as their support players.
And I think Uzi in the LPL, am I right? Or ano ba yung team nila dati? Royal? Royal yata yung name nila before sa Worlds. And He was the AD carry of Team Royal that time. So far ngayon, we have SAJ Uzi, new member of Team Saigon Jokes dito, being a support role of their team.
Well,
So-
actually, the Uzi from the Royal Club before is actually was moved to mid lane, and he was sat down for a few months. But they realized they really needed him to play, and when he came back, he just started dominating again.
Actually, ganda nung performance niya in the Worlds before. Season 4 World Championship, Season 3 World Championship, sobrang unpredictable nung kanyang galaw at that time. So far, ito na ang ating game. Dapat sa magitan ng Team AHQ Fighters versus Team Saigon Jewelers. Welcome to the Summoner's Rift, mga kaibigan. And third game of the day. Have here GPL 2014 Summer Season Week 2, Day 1. Very interesting kung ano man mangyari dito. So sa lahat ng tatanong, taga saan po ang Saigon Jewelers? They are from Vietnam. Saigon, lugar yan sa Vietnam. So, and Team AHQ Fighters are from Taiwan. So,
yes, they are the sister team of
AHQ
Esports Club. And right now, as you can see, SAJ are all grouped together here. They're just placing down wards on the bottom side of the jungle.
Sayang, hindi ko nakita si River Spirit Nami. I'd like to see a River Spirit Nami sana. Lineup at this point of time. AHQ Fighters trying to stick together here. The 4th champion of Team Saigon Jewelers are patiently waiting here. Try and wait for Team AHQ Fighters na initiate sa laban na to. We never know what might happen though. Team Saigon Jewelers trying to
minions have spawned.
Yeah, so basically what SAJ has done so far is place wards all over the map. They want to know the movement of the jungler, especially Lee Sin, who's a very deadly jungler. Even at, yes, Lee Sin is a very deadly jungler, even at level 1. Of course, Lantern will go for the red buff, and of course, ASJ will be well aware of this. They place 2 wards at the front and the back of the red jungle camp. Safety will start with the red buff, blue buff on the show side.
Standard mga kaibigan, SAJ getting the first blue buff of the game. Same with AHQ Fighters, but take note, AHQ Fighters stole the red buff from Team Saigon Jewelers, so they have the advantage here. But aware ang Team Saigon Jewelers dito with this Zinkep na nilagay nitong si Gragas kanina.
Yeah, and Jax playing very smart here, stealing that red buff away from Pantheon. So Pantheon will be surprised that the red buff is not there. A lane swap coming from HQ Fighter, very smart play. Another well thought level 1 coming from HQ Fighter here. They were very prepared for this. They knew that even without those wards, they kind of predicted the movements coming from SAJ here. And smart plays all around from both teams.
Teleport from Jax in the bottom lane, defending.
Getting there just in time actually to hit that minion there. He is though in a little bit trouble. There is 3 champions here in the bottom lane. He could get dived on. Has to be very careful here. Although he is level 2, giving him 2 skills here, allowing him to probably try to survive here. Slash will be joining him in the bottom lane to provide some protection.
So solo top lane dito with the Lucian. The Saigon Jewelers, they're somehow AHQ Fighters trying to stop Team Saigon Jewelers to push this first turret as soon as possible. For their chance to pick the first blood here is AHQ Fighters, but since medyo dalawang champion na dito ang meron ng Team AHQ Fighters, they have to play safely in the bottom lane.
Yes, Lee Sin of course connecting both his spells, but will not continue for that dive in under the tower. Very dangerous place for you to go with Link there. He does still have his flash up, so and his ignite could have easily turned it around very carefully. Of course, Lantier now continuing to clear his jungle. He is ahead in CS over the Pantheon. This Pantheon got left behind due to that red buff not being picked up by Pantheon in the jungle of HQ Fighter. Alright, so this is basically another evolution of laning here. As you can see, Jax and the support in the bottom lane instead of the AD carry. Lantier avoiding that nice Aqua Prison.
It does connect mga kaibigan. Here comes the flashing from Serra dito. A good death sentence managed to connect to Archie.
Nick's brother joining in.
Here comes the backup mga kaibigan from HQ Fighters dito. responded. 5 members of Team Saigon Jewelers shutting down the members of Team AHQ Fighters dito. And I think this is the first tier turret for Team of Saigon Jewelers.
Yeah, I think they can easily push it. They're all level 3 right now.
They actually have 4 members dito, but Gragas is falling back home. Mag-restock ng kanyang item. And syempre, respondihan si Lucian farming freely in the top lane.
Yeah, good play coming from SAJ there. Was able to predict the movement coming from AHQ Fighter after that nice level 1 from AHQ Fighter and turning it around. As you can see here, there's a 1k gold hit just like that from SAJ.
Sobrang deep nung pagpasok dito ng Team AHQ Fighters. Though, surprisingly, siguro naman hindi mo talaga ma-expect na ganun karami ng from Saigon Jokers respond doon sa nangyaring team fight kanina. Though,
yeah, and I think that would be the flaw of the plan of AHQ Fighters since Jax is the one with teleport and he's already in that lane. Lucian, of course, doesn't have a teleport, so there's no way for him to join that team fight. Unlike Gragas, who is, of course, playing his normal role as a top laner, with the teleport allowed him to join that team fight. And of course, Ziggs, really, probably with some good communication coming from the team, responded very quickly in the mid lane, in the bottom lane. Alright, so Jax will move now to the top lane. Looks like he'll be facing against the AD carry and support of SAJ in the top lane. This is actually very bad news for Jax right now. With this advantage SAJ has, they can continue to snowball this and probably do a repeat of what just happened in the top lane this time around. Alright, so we can see here Lantier trying to provide some support for Jax here. Nami will be near there. Initiation coming from Jax already. SAJ Archie in a little bit of trouble here, being slowed down by Lantier.
Here comes the Sonic Wave from Lantier. Exhausted mga kaibigan from Uzi dito. But, di umabot yung pag-exhaust na yun since medyo na-lead siya ng konti and 1 more hit na lang. Archie will go down. But here comes safety mga kaibigan from the backline. A stun. Dead sentence mga kaibigan. FCTV flashing in the leaf and counter strike. Managed to get life from safety dito. Safety goes down. FRD got 1 kill. And I think it's about time to get the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, they should have no problem picking up this dragon here. They've got 5-man strong here.
They
just took out the jungler of SAJ, so there's no smite from the SAJ right now. Here, Ziggs trying to provide some harass. They have to be very careful. I feel like they might pick up a champion here, especially Sarah, who's not very careful right now. The ultimate of Gragas trying to box them into the
got the first dragon of the game. Here goes the sentence mga kaibigan. Very good job for Sarah dito. Managed to end the life of Nami here in this team fight. SAJ Goni trying to run back home, pero that Q from FRD dito.
Yeah, and now they're trying to convert it to a dragon, a blue buff rather. Of course, they have to be very careful since Pantheon does have his smite up, so it'll be a little bit challenging for them to pick it up. Jax, of course, is very low right now. Jinx hitting Ysera there.
That is up mga kaibigan. Here comes the trap from Jinx as well. That mega inferno bomb.
Watch out.
He's one champion of Team AHQ Fighters dito. Here comes the stun from safety. But just in time, Lantier used that Dragon's Rage to kick Pantheon away.
Yeah, good job coming from AHQ Fighter there.
Hachi so far trying his best to catch up sa nangyaring disadvantage sa kanila kanina. Sobrang dami ng napaka-snappy ng kanilang transition ngayon. As soon as they got the first tier in the bottom lane, somehow they're trying their best to get the first tier on the top as well. Though that gave AHQ Fighters the chance to get the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, AHQ Fighters really turning around the game with those decisions there. First picking up the kill on Jinx in the top lane, then followed by the dragon and blue buff steal, giving them a nice comfortable 2k gold lead right now, and of course the advantage in kills as well. Alright, so team fighting so far going in favor of AHQ Fighter. You can see here AHQ Fighter RD and Ysera will push the bottom lane. RD spending most of his mana and his ultimate on the minions will decide to back away. It looks like they will not continue to push the bottom lane. Safety on their hand has to choose his jungling route right now. He is still behind on Lee Sin in items and in CS here. Lee Sin, of course, picking up 1 kill and 2 assists, while Pantheon only with 1 assist so far in this game. Alright.
1 score. Favor of Team HQ Fighters. Somehow Saigon Jokers struggling at this point of time to win this game against HQ Fighters. Level 6 na si Safety. Kaka level 6 lang niya. So far ngayon, Lantier got his spirit, the Elder Lizard item dito. Counter-Strike missed out from CCB.
Yeah, that was actually, I think, a little bit too early for Lantier to come out there, and luckily
Jinx actually, kung tumama lang yung kanyang Sonic Wave kanina, they can secure a kill in the top lane. I think nagkaroon sila ng medyo miscommunication for team of Jokers. I mean, the HQ Fighters do 10-minute mark, almost 11-minute na.
Yeah, and actually looks like the CS of HQ Fighter has improved since they won those last fights here at 15 years. The gold lead has increased by about 500 more, now giving them a 2.5k gold advantage over the 2k a while ago here. And RT is here trying to work on that third here in the bottom lane.
Explosive gas mga kaibigan from gold in the bottom lane. At least sinusubukan niyang matulak itong si Thresh papalapit sa kanyang turret since na-clear na kagad yung minion doon. Medyo nagkaroon na konting angle pa ng skill niya doon. And he can surely catch Serra bottom lane. So ngayon, RT got the first tier turret in the bottom lane. 4-1 score, 1-1 turret destroyed. Both bottom first tier turrets.
That's right, and looks like RT and his here aren't yet finished here. As you can see here, they're trying to continuously shove the top lane here. And Gragas, of course, drinking his nice beer here, of course, while walking, something that's been changed in the previous patch. Now Gragas can move while crafting a drunken rage. Right, CCB here trying to clear the minion as much as possible, but Archie there doing a lot of damage in the third, probably 1 or 2 more waves. He should be able to take out the third if nobody interferes with him. Of course, Brandon is patiently waiting there. He's decided to come out and help them push instead. Looks like they will try to take this tower.
They have to trade the first tier of the top lane. I mean, of top lane of Team HQ Fighters dito since kinukuha ng Team HQ Fighters ang second tier turret sa bottom lane. But this is not a good trade for their team since first tier turret is less than a second tier turret dito. Still, it's a turret, so kaya nila makahabol dito if ever na mabawian nila yung top lane. Jax naiwan sa top lane dito, while Team Saigon Jokers is responding in the bottom, in the mid lane. And this time, around 4-1 score pa din. Second dragon of the game is about to respond for the next 30 seconds. They're aware, HQ Fighters is aware na mabubuhay na ang ating dragon next 20 seconds the game.
Yes, Mr. Albus taking some damage from Archie there. Archie trying to stop that push coming from Knight. Then it's going to be there, catching Panther. Panther will get bursted down very quickly. Mega Inferno Bomb trying to get that blue buff, but Lesion will still pick up that blue buff. A Dark Passage coming from Sarah.
Dragon's up. And medyo very bad for safety. Ginawa niya pag-pilit kanina to get blue buff. So, syempre, kailangan mo talaga ipaglaban ng kailangan mo talaga ipaglaban yung buff mo dito. Syempre, buff na yun.
That's right.
And mostly para sa yan. At least, you can try and steal using your smite.
And HQ Fighter is starting to get really strong. Ang laki na ng gold lead nila. Such an early point of the game. Right now, it's already almost 5k gold lead in just 14 minutes. And this is very big advantage at this early point in the game. If they continue to build this gold lead over SAJ, most likely they will have a much better shot of winning this game so far. I feel like the picks of SAJ, the Panther and the Gragas is not really the best picks they could have had for their lineup. It does have there is a composition where they can, of course, form a combo, but if their combo fails, they don't really have much more to offer other than that.
Kasi alam mo, ano eh, like what we've said kanina, medyo unusual nga. Having Gragas with Ziggs in na. Tingnan kapag ginamit niyo yung kanyang explosive cuts, for sure, lahat ng kalaban mo, kakalat. And, once na magkalat-kalat sila dito, yung Mega Inferno bump mo,
wala na.
Mahihirapan ka rin mag-target ng maayos.
Yeah.
And same with the tidal wave, di ba?
Yeah, I really don't know what Bonnie was thinking when he got the Gragas, but we'll have to see how it turns out. Right now, Bonnie surviving.
He goes down, wow! Nice dark passage and a wild growth from Mr. Harvest dito.
Making sure the DC doesn't die here. A very nice wild growth na.
Cadet Rocket, almost there. Kung hindi siguro nagamitan ng wild growth si Albis, si Lantier, eh tinamaan siya ng rocket na yun.
Surely.
Surely, Lantier will go down.
Yes, alright, so Ward being cleared out using a sweeper there. The mid tower of SAJ is still pretty healthy, of course. A large minion wave and a strong push can easily take it down.
Ooh, safety!
CCP getting caught, catching safety here with the help of Terra rather.
Once again. That item advantage for Lantier dito. As you can see, actually enough na yung kanyang side stone to secure his objectives of being dominant jungler at this point in time. With those side stone, you can surely gank with Lee Sin kasi nga, ang laki ng tulong ng safeguard sa'yo dito eh.
Yeah, I really think Lee Sin is still very OP, especially with the multitude of ways you can build him and the multiple lanes where he can go. And
here comes the gank mga kaibigan. Whoops! Then the box, financing advantage yung kanyang Grand Rifle. I wonder what happened.
Wow! Nice play
from Lander dito, yung tidal wave. Here comes the Grand Skyfall. Nababas na ang pakpak ni Pantheon mga kaibigan. Wala ng champion dito from Team AHQ Fighters. Double kill for Hachi. And it's an 8-3 score. Time. While Albis is left behind in the mid lane dito. Push the first tier turret. That bouncing bomb. Clear the minion. Here the mid lane. Mr. Albis managed to get the first tier turret in the mid lane. So far, 4-2 turret destroyed.
Yeah, looks like Archie
pa rin of Team HQ Fighters
will have his work cut out for him. He will have to carry his team
that
once
damage
again.
Mga kaibigan from Archie dito. Bonnie.
Archie is a bit of trouble here. Wow!
Flash out from Archie dito. 3
Perfect
champion
timing
of Team Saigon Jokers trying to chase HQ.
SAJ safety very angry here. Not gonna be able to chase down Archie though. Put some mobility on the Pantheon right now, and with that slow attack damage coming from RD, stopping the mobility from being active here.
Ano, isa si Lucian, yung pinakamahirap talaga mahabol na ADPM dito. With those skills na nabiyayaan siya. Ma-flash out from Uzi dito. That ignite, wow! That glitter lands mga kaibigan from Mr. Aldis managed to end the life of Uzi here in the bottom lane.
And RD still playing with fire even without any mana, not leaving his bottom lane here, and really trying to apply as much pressure as possible here in the bottom lane. Mr. Albis, of course, will be doing the same thing in the mid lane. Of course, Thresh and Lee are just basically roaming on through all three different lanes here, and SAJ can't seem to get their act together with this 3-man push coming from SHQ Fighter right now. Alright, Bonnie is in the top lane. He will be facing off with CCP again this time around in the top lane.
After
CCP,
no changes kay Goni, or I mean kay Gragas dito, hindi na siya ganun. Ang hirap nang mag-decide kung gagawin mo siyang AP or AP carry. Tanky champion in the top lane, but
yeah, before talaga, if you go Gragas, kahit mag-AP ka, ang kunat pa rin eh.
AP or AD, it's up to you eh. Kasi parehong may advantage dito, parehong may malabo yung, mahirap po siyang mapigilan dito yung pag-counter sa kanya. And like what you said, kahit gawin mo siyang AP carry, sobrang effective pa rin niya being a tanky champion dito. He can survive the skirmishes na mangyayari kahit sa late game pa. But ngayon, even a pure AP carry na itong Gragas, hindi pa rin ganun ka-burst yung damage ng kanyang explosive cast dito, pati yung kanyang barrel roll eh.
Yeah.
Compared before. Though, more on pang jungler na siya, I think. Since Meron na siyang knock up, meron siyang skills like well, in terms of clearing the way, but mas habang tumatagal, mas tumalaki yung damage ng kanyang Baron Run dito.
That's right. Yeah, alright, so Safety will be picking up his red buff. Luckily, Lesion will not be interrupting him, but Lesion is doing quick work of the Dragon right now. 1v1 with the Dragon in the Dragon Pit here. SAJ are on the back end right now. It looks like they're undecided on what they should do here. As you can see, they're just trying to farm as much as possible in their own jungle area, and Lantier will pick up the Dragon for their team again.
Lantier managed to get the second Dragon in the game for Team AHQ Fighters. Very good job for Lantier here, securing his objectives better. Here comes the Grand Sky for mga kaibigan na teleport as well for Team of Saigon Zoomers. That third kill from Goni dito managed to end the life of RT in the mid lane. Well, 20-minute mark, 9-5 score. They're getting the first battle of the game. And I think hindi aware ang team ng Saigon Zoomers dito na they're trying to get the first battle of the game.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate for Saigon.
I'm pretty sure SAJ was really happy with the two kills, and just because there's only 2 or 3 members left from each fighter, they're probably thinking, that there's no way they will be doing Baron, but with this, of course, CCB and Lantier will pick up the Dragon Baron just in time as both members of AHQ have respawned already. As you can see, Thresh is in the middle lane while Lucian will go to the bottom lane to pick up some more CS. Both Lantier and CCB will go back to base to heal up and pick up some more items before they pick up their next team fight. Alright, Nick's Water here, trying to pick up the wolves here. I'll be spotting him, will do a lot of damage here.
Ginamit ko kanyang health picks, ginamit ang healer as well, and he managed to end the life of one champion here in the mid lane. But a trade for Archie is now on killing spree. Nakuha ang buhay ni Sera here in the jungle.
Yeah, and actually he burned his flash for that. He thought that his ultimate was not enough on the Mega Death Rocket, but
well, just to be sure, mga kaibigan.
No. He wanted to definitely secure that kill, but luckily he did pick up the kill without any problems there. Archie though, 3-1-3 on the Jinx so far, doing a really good job so far. Same with RD here actually, even though he's 2-1-2, the amount of pressure is applied here in the bottom lane has been significant for HQ Fighters' dominance in the mid lane here. As you can see here, Lee Sin is very annoying to go against in the jungle as he has really high mobility and has those extra wards ability when he picks up the side stone here. Jax will go back to the top lane and try to harass Donnie.
Counter strike. Nice flash out from Goni here in the top lane. Disengage. Managed to get away. So far, Lantier taking a lot of damage, mga kaibigan, from team members of Team Saigon Zoomers. Here comes Sera to respond at the top lane. Give a bit of damage out. Nice kick out from Lantier, mga kaibigan. Here comes the counter strike from CCB dito.
Has been destroyed.
Yeah, and while that was happening, RD picking up another tower for their team. Oh, Mega Death Rocket.
Not enough, mga kaibigan.
Lantier must be really happy that he survived that there. With like probably 100
that really hard attack for Lantier dito.
Has been destroyed.
Kung hindi siguro, kung wala siguro siyang side scope or syempre dynamic niya, would surely go down from that Mega Death Rocket from Archie dito. As you can see, Archie with that 3-1-3 score is trying his best to catch up sa disadvantage na meron sila. Whoops! Please check. SAJ Goni goes down. They're not aware. Sobrang, tignan mo yung vision ng Team Saigon Zoomers dito. Ito lang nakikita nila. Sobrang hirap na kanilang mapa dito. Ito ang vision na meron ang HQ Fighters.
Yeah, alright, so HQ have already picked up all the outer turrets of SAJ. This is actually, this game is very similar to the last game actually. As you can see, the game was pretty even until HQ Fighter, well actually it wasn't really that even in terms of goal. Fighter did lead in kills and in the objective of towers here.
Here comes CCB, mga kaibigan, ginamit ang kanya counter strike. Safety was forced to use the flash out to disengage in the top lane while Team HQ Fighters continue to get the third tier turret or the inhibitor turret of Team Saigon Zoomers. This is going to be very dangerous for them if pipilitin nila na kunin ang turret na to. good decision, wise decision for their team to disengage.
Yeah, and HQ Fighter.
While Team Saigon Jokers trying to respond here. RBs as well. It's there to get yes. That inhibitor kill.
And HQ Fighter still using their strategy of split pushing. You see, SAJ doesn't know what to do. They don't know if they're gonna stop top lane, stop the bottom lane. Every time they move to another lane.
Dragon Slayer Pantheon mga kaibigan from the backline. Safely used the heavy that guy for AHQ Fighters needs to be managed to end the life for champion dito. The champion goes down. One out turnaround for Team HQ Fighters. It was unexpected. Kasi hindi mo ganun usually makikita yung ganung klase ng strategy dito. Yung magagaling ka sa likod. At least ito na lang ito ng Team HQ Fighters.
Nice kick from Lucian. Shutdown. 10 and 8. I think this might be game here.
Ace. I think it's about time to end the game for Team HQ Fighters. Win the game.
They definitely have enough damage, and although Nami is alive and Panda, I don't think they have enough damage to stop HQ Fighter from ending the game. Inhibitor just going down.
Parang
congratulations.
Parang mag-ano dito, parang mag-swimming kung baka sakaling magamitan dito ng tidal wave from Nami since they don't have enough
sayang, no? Like you said, wala pa yung river spirit. Sana nakita natin river yung lumalabas doon eh.
Nakita ko kanina yung sabi ni Dave, nakakatakot daw yung pag nagre-recall. Hindi ko pa siya nagtatry eh.
Oh, we'll have to see later on.
Tignan ko mamaya.
Alright, so let's take a look at our match stats now. Of course, HQ Fighter picked up a very dominating victory over SAJ. So this basically answers the question if the new teams of HQ of Taiwan, HQ Fighter and Maki can win their games. So far, they've both picked up one win against the both Vietnam teams. So this is a very happy day probably for Vietnamese fans. I'm sorry, Taiwanese fans here, as HQ Fighter and Maki Esports pick up their win today. Alright, so looking at the stats right now, we can see here that it's really hard to say who is the MVP here. I'd say Lantier probably did a really good job in this game, applying pressure evenly in all over the map. Although he did pick up, well, he has the most kills and not a few assists as well, dying only once to the team fight they had, and surviving several times from close death. We saw how many times he almost died there, escaping SAJ's wrath here. SAJ basically losing. Had a really strong level 1. They were able to do a nice play at the bottom tower, but after that, it was all HQ Fighter the rest of the game.
Good job for Archie as well, trying his best to catch up against HQ Fighters. Pinaka naging problema nila dito ay, well, one thing is because safety, hindi niya na ganun na-secure yung kanyang mga jungle buffs dito eh. And kasi sa early part ng game pala, nakuha niya yung blue buff niya. And nice counter gank, nice counter invade for CCB dito, getting their own red buff. And with that, he has the advantage of securing his lane in the bottom lane, farming very well, getting the CS, and dominating the duo bot.
Yeah, definitely, he definitely denied SAJ safety a lot of jungle minions and jungle buffs. As you can see, he has the lowest gold count in the game, in this particular game, not because he was a bad player, but simply because the HQ Fighters rotations in the jungle with Lantier and the rest of the team responding, helping Lantier here, allowing them to shut down safety from really performing very well.
Congratulations HQ Fighters winning the game, third game for today against team of Saigon Jokers. Pero bago lahat mga kaibigan, we are waiting.
Actually, we have an announcement. We have some not really bad news, but a little bit disappointing news. Those who are expecting to watch the fight tonight between War Gods and NFL, the game has been postponed officially already because of internet or connection problems with us connecting to the other servers in C and Taiwan. So because of this, we'll have to reschedule the game on a later date. We're not yet sure what date the match will be scheduled. Could be tomorrow, probably even next week. So stay tuned and check on our GPL website for any updates regarding this rematch.
So bago ang lahat mga kaibigan, again, ano nga po yung GPL site natin? gpl.garino.com. Nandiyan lahat ng information, ang ating upcoming matches, ang ating standings, and syempre yung lineup of teams, the teams na meron tayo sa ating GPL. So ayan mga kaibigan, again sa lahat ng mga umaasa sa ating laban na mangyayari for Wargads sa team ng NFL or Neo Illusion Full Lewis. Ano ba?
Yes.
Yes, Neo Illusion Full Lewis. Narisked po ang ating laban. So far, hindi pa natin alam kung kailan. Probably by tomorrow or hindi pa natin alam kung kailan. Baka next week. And stay tuned na kayo sa ating GPL site, Garena Premier League website, gpl.garena.com. Nandun lahat ng information na kailangan nyo.
We really apologize for this inconvenience. Of course, we have to do this for the safety of Warga to not lose another game. They already lost one game due to internet problems, and we don't want that, of course, to happen again. And hopefully, when we have the internet connection resolved, we should have a nice game coming from Warga.
Again, mga kaibigan, maraming salamat sa lahat ng nanonood ngayong gabing ito. And you're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 Summer Season. Last game for today, we have the match between Team AHQ Fighters versus Team Saigo Jokers. Saigo Jokers. Kanina, IPT versus Bangkok Titans. So, the first game natin, syempre, Machi Esports versus Team SF5. And again, you're watching the Garena Premier League 2014 Summer Season. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Spear.
And I'm Jay.
Kita tayo ulit bukas, same time slot, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Or depende kung ano yung mangyari tomorrow sa mga matches natin.
Alright, so this is Jay signing off with GD Spear. Hope to see you soon, and thank you for watching again.